Okay, so everyone find yourself in a tall feeling, supported feeling seat. Remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I do not care. So your legs could be long, your legs could be crossed. If you're in a chair and your feet are near the ground, I would recommend not crossing at the ankles or the knees and placing the feet flat on the floor if they touch. See if you can find a place where you feel like your shoulders are stacked on top of your hips. Your pelvis, if it's a bowl, is spilling out forward instead of backward. So if you feel like you're slumping or tucking your tail, I would encourage you to put blocks or something, a blanket if you're at home, underneath your tuchus. And then see if you can shift around so you feel sits bones on the ground and the pelvis rocking very gently forward. It might feel like you're sticking your butt out behind you. That's good. There's a curve there on purpose. Okay. And then roll your shoulders down and away from your ears a couple times. See if you can find a lot of space between the earlobes and the tops of the shoulders. Next time they're down, keep them down. Elbows stay bent, hands are resting. And remember, you could do palms facing up if you want to feel a little more active and awake and receptive today. You could do palms facing down if you want to feel a little more grounded and controlled and self-centered today. Let your head stack on top of your spine. You might imagine tucking your chin down and back and kind of pressing your head into like an invisible wall behind you. Let your gaze go forward and slightly down and lock your attention on something out ahead of you. Keep your eyeballs fixed on that spot, preferably something that's not moving, and relax the muscles around the eyes. Your vision might go a little blurry, but see if you can just lock your awareness and attention in that direction. And you might have to bring it back over and over. That's normal. Good. Smooth out your forehead, unclench your jaw. You might swallow. Let your tongue fall off the roof of your mouth. Coat your tongue in saliva in the bottom part of your mouth. Relaxing the sense organs, paying attention to the body and the breath. All the things that we do in class to set up for success. These are all just ways of telling your nervous system, hey, I'm safe. It's okay to approach a relaxed way of being. Good. Mentally separate yourself from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing, which is just sitting in a room. Notice what you've brought to class with you today. It could be physical pain. It could be mental attention on the past or the present or the future. It could be judgments about what's going to happen or what has happened. All of this is normal. None of it is good or bad. Just be aware of what you brought into the room with you today. And then we'll use grounding and centering tools to continually bring your attention back into the present moment as often as possible. And remember, you'll do that 1,000 times in the next hour. A mind wandering isn't a mind that's broken, it's a mind that's working. So it's actually normal. Good. So start with what you can see without moving your eyes. So whether your eyes are open or shut, notice what is in your field of vision. Notice just generalities like shapes and colors. You don't have to label everything like floor, wall, chair, yoga mat. Just notice gray square, brown line, those sorts of things. Notice where the lights are and where the shadows are. Notice where the doors and windows are in relation to your body. And notice where the other people and objects are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises in the space. Start with what sounds furthest away from your body. Notice noises that are closer to your body. And then notice the noises from your own body. Be aware of your own personal bubble. Get a sense in your mind, use your spidey sense, what's immediately in the space in front of you. Sense what's to the sides of your body. Sense what is immediately behind your body. Notice where air touches your skin versus where your clothing touches your skin. Notice the weight of your body in your seat. See if you can get heavier there and taller through the spine without forcing it. Let your awareness settle on your breath without changing it yet. Just notice what it feels like to sit here and breathe. It doesn't have to feel good or familiar or comfortable. Just notice what is there. Notice the qualities. Is it smooth or choppy today? Does it feel quick or slow? Does it feel easy or labored? Some people might sense or be aware of a certain color associated with their breath, or a texture, or an emotion. Just keep noticing what's there, trying not to label any of it as good or bad. And you can stay here, just watching, just noticing. Or you could start to apply a little bit of intention to your breath by drawing it in through your nose a little lower and deeper into your belly than you normally do. And exhaling a little slower and longer than you normally do. Preferably in yoga, we breathe in and out of the nose. But if you're stuffy or that just doesn't feel accessible to you, maybe breathe in the nose and out the mouth. You could pretend you're blowing out of a straw or fogging a mirror. Keep noticing your breath getting longer and deeper this way without forcing it. Imagine allowing the lungs to get bigger. To inhale, the diaphragm pulls down further, expanding the belly out like a balloon. Exhaling, the balloon deflates, everything recedes back to the center of you. Just notice what that feels like. Maybe it feels really natural and comfortable. Maybe it feels choppy and difficult. Again, none of that is right or wrong. Just notice. One or two more like that. You can let go at any time. Keep softening your face, keep softening the shoulders away. Tall through the spine, soft belly. Finish the round that you're on. And then return back to your natural, more passive breath. And be aware now of anything left over. That echo after any sort of yoga practice, the remaining thing or feeling, that's referred to as shesha in Sanskrit, S-E-S-A. And through the rest of class, I'll continually bring your attention to what is the residue of what you're practicing? How is this working for you? So that you can take notes of those that do and do not work and take them outside of class. That's why we come together to practice. Good. Everything is optional. If you want to stay here, if you want to lay down and take a nap, you absolutely can do that. And that's good yoga for you. I'm happy for you. If you start snoring, I'll come and tap you on the foot. If you want to keep practicing and moving, we're going to start that now. So uncross your legs, maybe cross them the other way. If you're on a chair, maybe scoot forward towards the edge of your seat so you have a lot more room to the sides and behind your body. Good. Okay, so today we're going to put extra emphasis on bandhas as requested. So what is a bandha? Bandha in Sanskrit. It like loosely is where we get the word bind from. It means like a lock. Okay, so when you get into yogic philosophy, here's a crash course. There's different types of energy. Energy moves up, energy moves down, energy circulates. Like in a nutshell, that's what we're talking about. Okay. You can think of your body as like a conduit for an electric circuit. So when you plug into something like the floor or the sky, something's moving up or moving down or circulating within your body. Or your body's like a jar, a container. I mean, you are, after all, like a meat sack full of goo and electricity. You know that, right? It's wild. Okay. So we're goo and electricity. Think of your abdomen as a jar. The bottom is the pelvis. The top is the throat. And then the diaphragm in the middle is like what's that thing that pumps to get a fire going? A bellows. Yeah. Okay. So the diaphragm's moving in and out, circulating energy. Energy comes out. You can imagine what that looks like. Energy comes out the top. Okay. When we use bandhas or locks, we are locking the energy that we want inside the container so it does not spill out when we don't want it to. We are practicing self-control and self-regulation in a mindful way. This is not super duper forced. This is gentle, energetic lifting and closing of certain areas of the body. There's also locks in the feet and hands. So I think I mentioned this really briefly last time, but when the feet are touching the ground, you're essentially locking yourself or sealing yourself to the ground or whatever the feet are touching. You can do the same thing with the hands. Okay. So let's focus on the main three: the root seal, the root lock, the middle, which is your diaphragm, and then the top, which is the throat. So throughout class, I'm going to keep bringing your awareness to these parts of your body. Make sense? Okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you don't care, you don't have to practice them or pay any attention to it. If you want to work hard or get more into the subtle practices of yoga, then this might be a good practice for you. So let's try it just in the position that you're in now. Press into your feet. Press into whatever's touching your seat. Imagine your pelvic bowl. See if you can lift everything in and up with gentle pressure. Think of it like the shape of a pyramid, everything coming in and up to the center of you towards the abdomen. Release, and then pull everything in and up. Release, everything in and up. Hold. Not 100% pressure, not zero, something in the middle. Now bring awareness to your diaphragm, the part of your body between your ribs and your guts that separates pulling the lungs in and out. Just notice what that feels like moving. You might not even sense it. And then again, in and up towards the center of you. Imagine all of your guts, all of the center of you coming in and up towards the heart. And then release that, soften it, keep breathing. And then lift in and up. Pelvis is still in and up. We're still pushing down into the floor. Notice the difference of how the structure of your body feels when you're engaging in that way. Release. And then everything in and up. Pelvis in and up, belly organs in and up. Good. Hold and continue to breathe. Gentle pressure lifting. And bring attention to the throat and the chin. And now chin down and back. Some bodies, it feels pretty comfortable to bring the chin all the way down towards the chest and touch the spot between the clavicle bones. That may not work in your body, and that's okay. Down and in, down and in. And imagine that your abdomen now is like that jar. Everything's circulating within and not spilling out of the top or the bottom. And then release the chin lock, breathe normally, release the belly, release the pelvis. Notice what's left over. One more time. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. And breathe. and release. Notice what's left over. Good. Okay. So now let's do the movement portion of class, but we'll keep bringing our awareness to the bandhas throughout the rest of the course. Okay. Inhale, get yourself really tall through the crown of your head. Press down into your feet, pada bandha. Really lock the feet or the legs onto whatever's touching underneath you. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Really long, strong spine. Next time you exhale, let your right ear come towards your right shoulder. See if you can maintain the locking system in your body as you allow the extra pieces, the arms and the legs and the head, the appendages to move. Inhale yourself back to the top and then exhale to the other side. Don't worry about forcing the two sides to be exactly the same. We're just doing the same practice on each side. We're all in this room, at least, working with injuries and different kinds of tightnesses and weaknesses on each side. So just notice what's present for your body without trying to force it. Inhale yourself back to the center. Exhale, look to the right. So now turn your whole face, belly in and up, pelvis in and up, chin down and back, still looking. Maybe you pretend there's a marker on your nose and you draw circles. They could be really big or really small, or you could not move at all. Go one direction a few times if you're moving, and then go the other direction too. Still looking to the right. Take a break when you need. Breathing in and out, softening your face over and over and over. Push into your feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, look to the other side. Soft face, soft jaw. Notice what happens when you imagine a line between the tip of your nose and the opposite shoulder, and you imagine pulling them apart from each other. Draw circles one way and then the other way. Take your time, notice. Good. Inhale all the way back through the center. This time, exhale, chin down and back towards the chest. Keep pressing into your feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. You could stay here. You could pinch your shoulders behind you and pull them down your spine more. That might be a lot. If you want a little more, you could start sliding your chin towards one shoulder and then down through the middle towards the other side. Yeah, if you know of something different, please do that. If you're turning side to side, try to do the same amount of passes to each direction and then come back through the center with the chin still tucked. And I invite you to bring your fingertips to the back of your skull. Some people just like to touch with the fingertips, especially if you have shoulder or neck tightness or injury there. You might want to keep the hands separated. Some bodies think it's okay to interlock the fingers and slide the thumbs to the occipital ridge, that part where the skull meets the base of or the top of the neck. Good. And then to any degree, bring the elbows closer together in front of you. Still a soft face, still pushing into the floor, your feet in your seat, pelvis still in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Breathe really big into the tops of your shoulders and the upper part of the back. One more like that. Good. Inhale, bring yourself to look forward, open your elbows out to the side. And in this case, I do recommend releasing the fingers so they can point up towards the sky. One at a time, swim the shoulder blades down further onto the spine and kind of pinch them together behind you. Imagine if I was looking at your body from the side, I could draw a line down your spine. See if you can bring the elbows in front of that line and the thumbs back behind it. If you have shoulder and neck injury or tightness, you might bring both arms forward in space, but do that same motion. Elbows forward, thumbs back. Good. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the ribs up off the hips, turn the eyebrows and the eyelids up towards the sky. You might even point your nose up, but keep your neck long. Back bend here. Still squeeze the shoulders behind you to support the weight of the heart. Imagine lifting up and over instead of crunching the back of the neck. Good. Now exhale, do the opposite. So bring the elbows and the hands together in front of you. The elbows might touch. Squeeze everything together that's touching. Draw the elbows down towards your belly and look down. Let your head be really heavy here. Stay and breathe. Notice where you feel it the most. Now let's go back and forth. So inhale to an open shape, elbows open, eyes and heart pointed forward and up. Squeeze the shoulders towards the hips. Exhale, round like a tortoise, really tucking everything in, and squeezing everything together. Start matching them up at your own cadence. So inhaling to open and exhaling to close. Try not to get to the very top of your open shape until your lungs are so full you can't get any more air in there. You might even do a like suck extra air in at the top. It might surprise you that there's more room. And then when you exhale, see if you can force whatever stale, I'm putting that in quotes, stale air in there out. Good. Try that a few more times. Finish the round that you're on. And then come back to a neutral spine. Let your arms come out of your shoulders and dangle by your sides. And lean over quickly to each side. If you're on the floor, you should be able to touch easily. But if you're in a chair, this is where the blocks come in. Put them in Papa Bear setting, tallest setting, so you can easily have something to touch on either side of your body. Anyone need blocks that doesn't have them, that wants them? Okay, so stay in this mountain pose, this mountain-like shape. The spine is reaching down and reaching up at the same time, pressing into what's touching the floor. That is the base of your mountain. The other part is touching your chair, maybe. Reach all the way up through the crown of your head, shoulders down, chin down and back. In and up on the pelvis, in and up on the belly, chin locked. Reach really far through the fingertips, even past the fingertips. So straighten through the elbows to any degree. Maybe you even glue the fingertips together like Barbie hands, and you reach towards the ground on either side of you. Make that huge triangle mountain shape. Relax your face. The eyebrows cannot help you. Smooth them out, Alex. Good. Identify the right hand. You can give it a wiggle if you're not sure you have the right one. And then inhale, bring the arm either out to the side. It might stay at shoulder height. It might be okay to bring it up over shoulder height. If it's over your head, lift the shoulder girdle up towards the earlobe too. Don't press your head into your hand. Squeeze the bicep in towards the center line, towards the ear, and pull your hands apart in either direction, no matter where they landed. Remind yourself the arms are only connected to the skeleton at the clavicle bones. So see if you can reach in a way where you feel a line of energy all the way through both arms that meet at the center of the chest, that don't stop at the shoulder girdle. Does that make sense? Good. Inhale, get taller through the crown of your head. Exhale, lean over towards the left until your fingertips touch down. You might stay. You might place the palm down. You might bend your elbow. Whatever feels interesting or comfortable to you is fine. Remember, the goal isn't to like be folded in half. I want hips glued into your seat, and we're looking for a big round shape in the side of the body. Imagine like if I had a string in the sides of your ribs, I'm tugging the string out. You're not collapsing down. Yeah. Press into the feet, belly in and up. pelvis in and up, chin down and back. Press your head into a wall. Notice where your heart is pointing. Is it pointing towards the floor? If it is, see if you can back out 10% and open your heart to the front of the room. If you're already open to the front, see what happens when you reach at a diagonal towards the corner of the room instead. Last breath here. Breathe really big into the sides of the rib cage. Make as much space in your breathing cathedral, your basket, as you can. And then press into the ground. Come up with lots of support in the abdomen. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale, arm comes down. Take a breath in neutral. Fill yourself up, bottom to top, top to bottom. Let all of the sensations come back to normal. You're going to get the tingling and the throbbing and the burning. That's all normal. And then other side. So inhale, arm either out or up. Press down into your seat. Lock the soles of your feet and your buttocks to whatever is touching underneath you. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back, and then reach over until your fingertips touch down. Maybe you stop there. Maybe this side feels different. Try what you did on the other side without having that expectation of forcing the body to be identical. No two bodies the same. No two sides of one body the same. It is impossible. Notice what's happening on this side of your body without any judgment, just noticing sensation. Maybe you play around with opening the heart to the front or scooping forward a little bit and reaching at a diagonal, see what changes. But keep softening your face and keep breathing. Try not to collapse in the side that you're leaning towards. See if you can lift up a little more, like I'm pulling that string and lifting the rib cage up and over, up and over, up and over. Awesome. Come up with lots of support. So pushing down into the feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Inhale, bring yourself tall, and then exhale, arm comes back down. Let the flooding and the tingling and the throbbing all come back to normal. Breathe. Good. So we've gone forward and back, side, side. Let's do twisty, twisty, all the motions of the spine. Okay. So bring your hands to the center of your chest. And instead of just having that really casual contact, see if you can press into the hands really firmly, press into the palms, and reach the elbows out apart from each other. Bring your hand pretty close to your chest so you can also engage in the shoulders. Soften your face, press into the floor. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist to the right, just using the muscles in the abdomen. Keep breathing in and out. You can keep pressing with the arms, or you could gently remove the arms and let the hands come down just to hold you in place, but do not use them to pull. Even though you're twisting, inhale to get taller. Exhale to squeeze the center of the body. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze. Yeah, beautiful. When you're ready to inhale again, come all the way back to the center. You can release your hands, take a breath in neutral, let everything come back. Notice the difference between the two sides or any shesha. And you guessed it, next side. So bring your hands to the center of the chest and really press. Engage in your bandhas. Create that seal in your container. Lock everything in place. And then inhale for length and exhale to twist. Let your pelvis move a little bit with you. It doesn't have to stay pointed forward perfectly. See what happens when you pull your thumbs in towards your chest and you engage with the shoulders more. Chin down and back. Breathing. Shoulders down away from your ears. Yes, like that. Good. Keep all of your bandhas engaged. Inhale, come all the way back to the center, soft face. And then exhale, release your hands. Notice what is left over. Good. And then if you want to wiggle your shoulders or give them a roll or whatever feels natural or necessary is fine. Good. Okay. How do we feel about standing today? Good. Everyone come to stand. Come to the top-ish of your mat. Get there how you're going to get there. Take your time. If you want to stay seated, that's great. I think we've all been standing lately though. So yeah, one foot in front of the other and then push. Good. Okay, come to the front of your mat. Pay no attention to how you're marching. Just march in place. Don't look. Okay, and then stop suddenly and look down at your feet without moving them or adjusting anything and see if they are where you thought they would be. And that's okay. You don't need to move them. So look forward again, rock your weight more into your toes and rock your weight more into your heels. And then carefully forward and back. And notice if you feel super duper wobbly, you might touch a chair or the wall, or you might give yourself a bit of a bigger base by just shifting the feet a little bit further away from each other and then trying it again. Just like a mountain, the bigger the base, the taller the peak. The bigger your foundation, the taller and more supported you can feel. Good. Okay. I forget what this is called, but let's try a 3-part breath where we do engage with the bandhas and then we're also lifting the arms and the heels off the floor at the same time. I can demonstrate it the first time. It's a little complicated, but let's see what happens. Okay. So you're going to come up in thirds with the arms and onto the toes. So you're going to do inhale 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, as high as you can on the toes. Exhale, super duper smooth, come all the way down onto flat feet with your hands down. Okay, so it'll be inhale 1/3, inhale 2/3, inhale 3/3. Maybe you pause at the top and then exhale as slowly and smoothly as you can possibly go. And remember, when we're doing balancing stuff like this, it's always better to have the gaze forward, locked ahead on something that's not moving. If you're staring at me or another person that's moving, it's going to make you feel wobbly because your brain is using that center point to balance you, but the balance point is moving. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, good. So lock your attention forward. Arms are coming down, pressing down into the feet, Pada Bandha. Pelvis in and up, Mula Bandha. Belly organs in and up, Uddiyana Bandha. Chin down and back, Jalandhara Bandha. Hands are down out of your shoulders, reaching, making your limbs as long as possible. Press into a diving board, bend your knees, give it a little bounce, make sure you feel secure. Pay special attention before we start to the arches of the feet. See if you can suction cup your feet to the ground and lift the arches so you can engage in all the muscles of the feet and the toes. And then inhale 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Exhale as smooth as you can. Come all the way down. It's okay if you're wobbly. It's going to be. Inhale 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Exhale all the way back down. Good. Keep going. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Exhale all the way back down. As smooth as you can get it. This takes a while, so don't give yourself a hard time. If you're super jiggly or wiggly or you're falling out of it, that's fine. Your body's learning. See what happens when you really mindfully engage with your bandhas. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up for extra support, chin down and back. 2 more or take a break. Okay, pause, wiggle if you want to, wiggle your feet, crack your toes, do what you have to do. We're going to try the opposite, same motion, but opposite breath now, okay? So we're gonna inhale, come up smooth, and exhale, come down 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Make sense? Okay, let's try it. So set yourself up, really firm in your feet, big foundation, feeling super tall through the spine, arms coming out, engage with the pads of the feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Lock your container, seal everything inside. You don't have to feel it, you could just imagine it. And then see if you can ride the wave of your breath. Inhale, let it lift you up and make it easier. Exhale with control in thirds. Okay, good. Soft face. Inhale up. Exhale, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Good. Again. Good. One more. Good. Come to pause. Notice what is left over and where, and if it's moving or changing as you stay and breathe. Okay, warrior one. So when you're at the front of your mat, shift all of your weight into your left foot without letting your hip, like we're not holding a baby. The hip is still in line with the ankle. Sorry, I'll move so you don't have to stare at me. Lock your attention ahead. Canter the right foot so you can easily take the weight out of it. Good. Your hands can be on a chair or at your hips. Some people like at the heart. So without thinking about it, just take a step back and then take a step forward. Notice what that felt like, how wobbly or how secure. Now, before you take a step back, press into the standing foot, suction cup the foot to the ground. Pelvis comes in and up, belly comes in and up, chin down and back, pressing the hands into whatever they're touching. And then inhale, take a step back. What changed? Just notice in your mind. Let the back heel come down. So if you're looking down at your feet, the front foot is pointed to the short edge of your mat. The back foot is kind of at an angle towards the side. The hips can open out to the side a little bit. Some lineages will tell you they have to point forward perfectly, but you really have to have flexy ankles to make that happen. So let the pelvis open if it wants to. Let your chest and ribs lift up off your hips. So even though it already feels like a little bit of a back bend, you're not collapsing, you're lifting the ribs up. Bend your front knee so you're sinking down and reaching up through the crown of the head at the same time. If you're okay with your balance of letting go of whatever you're touching, lift your arms up overhead as well. Some bodies keep them separated. Some bodies like to close the hands together like in a prayer shape. Sink more, press into both feet, Pada Bandha. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Reaching the hands up, 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 up. Both lines of energy working at the same time, but in opposite directions. You could stay here. You could bring your hands to your hips and squeeze the shoulders behind you. You could put your hands in back pockets and squeeze the elbows behind you. Some bodies interlace the fingers and make a fist and start to pull the elbows long. Heart lifts up. Gaze lifts up slightly. If you wish, you could look up a lot. Heart lifts up, not collapsing. Push into the feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Breathe. Inhale yourself back to center first. Release your hands, release your bind. Good. And then a bunch of little steps or one big step, come back to the front of your mat. Before you shake it out, notice what's left over. Release all of your seals. Notice what changed in your body in the last couple seconds. And then we'll do the other side. So this time, let me see, what was that, right? So this time the left foot is going to move back. So looking straight ahead, weight is in your right foot. Suction cup your foot to the floor. Strengthen all the muscles in the right leg. Even squeeze the buttock. Shoulders stacked on top of your hips. Gaze is forward. You could have hands on a chair, on your hips, or at your heart. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. And then with as much grace and control as you can muster, inhale, reach your foot back. So toes are down first. Some people do find it easier to stay high on the ball of the foot. You could totally do that. If you're more flexy in the ankle, you might start reaching the heel down towards the floor, but not touching. I recommend heel touching down so you have more points of contact. And if you feel wobbly, you take the right foot more to the right until the base is bigger underneath you. Yeah. Front leg is bent. Back leg is as long and strong and straight as you can make it. Squeeze the buttock. Lift your heart and your ribs up off your hips. You could stay here with the arms in your choice. You could start to lift the arms up, looking forward. Notice your container. And then press more into both big toes and both heels. Lift the arches. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Soft face, just breathing. Stay, or bring your hands to the back of your head, cradle the weight of your skull, and you can start to look up. Pull the elbows apart. Stay, or put your hands in your back pockets. Stay, or interlace your fingers. If you're interlacing your fingers and you did last time, cross the opposite thumb on top this time. And then to any extent, straighten the arms. Keep sinking into the front knee. Keep pulling in and up and down and back. Breathe. Good. Bring your head back to the center first. Release the arms. They can come back to your chair or your hips or your heart. And then ride your inhale forward, maybe a bunch of little steps or one big step. Come back to the front of your mat. Good. Hands are down. Roll your shoulders if you need to. You can roll the ankles or crack your toes, whatever. Just notice what's left over. Good. Okay. Let's do one more. We're going to practice a squat today with the bandhas, and then we'll come and do cool down too. So there's different ways that you can squat. I think we've practiced this multiple times. I'll show you. There's a couple different versions. So one version is like a ball, right? Where you come onto the toes and you bend the knees to any extent, and the heels in my body are lifted. In some bodies, this is super comfortable to have the heels down. And then you could stay here, especially if you're working with your balance, or you could start to practice binding through the arms by connecting around the legs. And then for extra challenge, you tuck the chin down and in and turn yourself into a bead. Okay, that's one option. Another option is more comfortable if you're an external rotator. So you take your feet wider with the toes pointing out at an angle. And then again, you bend the knees to any extent. For some people, it's going to feel like you're going to hit a spot where your pelvis tucks under and you feel like you're going to fall, or you feel like you're going to tip forward. When you get there, you need to stop and put your hands on your knees and make as long of a spine as possible. But for some bodies, it's going to be okay with the heels up or down to bring the pelvis all the way down. Okay, so choose one. Maybe if you already know you're good at one, try the other one. Cool? I'm not torturing you, I promise. Okay, so if your feet are together, you're coming up onto the toes slightly when you start coming down. So start to bend the knees, keep your gaze forward and up. That'll keep you from tipping over and falling. And then you could bring hands to like your chair or blocks. But see if you can lift the heels and press into all of the toes. Then when you're there, you might practice turning into a ball, wrapping your hands around your knees and tucking your chin so your forehead is between the knees. Sure. Okay, if you're trying with legs apart, feet apart, let the feet be pointed at an angle. Keep your weight mostly in the heels. Hands can be at your hips or at your heart. And again, bend the knees, stay as tall as you can, gaze is forward until you hit that spot where you're not going to go any further. If you're all the way down, option is to press the elbows into the knees to widen. You could press the palms together, or you could press fists together. Notice what's coming up. Are you judging what it should look like or feel like? Let the bullshit go. Yeah, it's bullshit. This is a party trick. It's fine. Someone made this up. Just practice, just process. 2 more big breaths wherever you landed. Take a break and come back if you want. Good. Press into your feet, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Inhale, lift yourself all the way back to a stand, and then bring your feet back underneath you. Shake it out if you need to, but notice what's left over. And that includes in the mind. Okay, come to sit on your mat. We're going to cool down and end class soon. Take your time getting there. Remember, we practice squatting partially to make it easier to get on the floor because it's hard to go from standing to laying down. That's called falling. But if you can squat, I'm serious, you guys. If you can squat, look, I'm falling. No, I'm not. I'm safe. Okay? There's a method to the madness. I promise. Okay, come to sit with your butt on the floor and your feet on the floor. Knees are bent. Gaze is forward. Some people like to put hands on the tops of their knees to pull themselves tall. In my body, it feels a little too smushy. I like to put my hands behind my thighs so I can lean back a little bit more. It's totally up to you. Look for a long spine. So if you're looking straight ahead, you're actually going to be rounding forward. I want you to squeeze your shoulders down and back onto your spine. Let your gaze go above the natural horizon. Tuck your chin down and back and get as long as you can from your tail to your crown. Good. Stay. Push into your feet. Pelvis in and up. Belly in and up. Chin down and back. Notice the difference. Stay or inhale, lift the right foot a little or a lot. Exhale, stay or lower. Inhale, left foot. Exhale, lower. Good. Long line of energy. Keep going back and forth, maybe one side at a time. If you wish, you could lift both feet and hold. Long spine, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, chin down and back. Some people like to keep the knees bent. Some people like to straighten through the legs. You can push through the feet. You can point the toes. You can squeeze the legs together. See what works for you. Maybe you let go of your support. 3, 2, 1. Good. Feet come down. With or without the support of your hands, roll yourself down onto your spine all the way until you're laying down. And do nothing. Let go of your bandhas. Let go of controlling your breath in any way. Just let gravity take over. Let the body soften. And notice what is left over. Notice what it feels like to do nothing and be supported. Good. Identify your right leg. With or without the support of your hands, inhale, lift your right leg up over towards the ceiling or the sky. You can hang on to the back of your thigh. You can grab your pants. We're just going to stay for a moment. Maybe don't use the strap today, but roll your ankle one direction. And then the other direction. Point your toes. Flex your foot. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. And now floint, like you're in a high heel shoe. Push through the ball of the foot, pull the toes back towards your face, but extend through the ankle. Pull the heel back. Good. Bend that knee and give it a little squeeze with your hands. And then carefully put the right foot back on the floor. Take a breath in between two sides. Notice what's left over. Compare the two legs. And then left foot lifts up towards the sky with or without the support of your hands. And roll your ankle one way. And then the other way. Pause. Point your toes. Flex your foot. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. One more. Keep breathing. Soften your face. Release your belly. Floint. And then release. You can shake your foot if you want. And bring your knee back for a hug. Give it a little squeeze. Grab your pants or interlace your fingers on the top of your thigh or behind your thigh. And release. Let both feet come to the floor. Knees are still bent. Notice what's left over. Breathe. Good. Both knees back for a hug. Options here are to pull the knees directly back towards the belly, but if you just ate or if you're fleshy like me, you might opt to take the knees out towards the armpits so your belly has more space. Feet could touch or be separated. Reach the tail down towards the ground. Keep the shoulders down. Head is heavy and supported. Option to be still, or you could always rock here. If your feet are together, knees are together, you might rock forward and back. If your knees are apart more, you might opt for side to side, but you can always do anything that feels natural or necessary. Release your bandhas. No more holding, no more sealing, no more locking. Imagine softness and heaviness. If you're moving, start to come to stillness. One more good squeeze. Use your hands. Relax the sides of your neck. And then carefully put your feet back on the floor. So if you have back pain, I recommend keeping the knees bent, taking the feet wider than the hips, maybe even as wide as the mat, and then letting the knees fall in towards each other for what's called constructive rest pose. So you would keep the tail on the ground, keep the shoulders on the ground. You could reach your arms up overhead, then bend both of your elbows, and then let the elbows cross in front of your chin and face. Constructive rest. Another option, if your low back is okay with it and hips are okay with it, is soles of the feet together with the knees wide apart, maybe with a block underneath the knees. And then you could mirror the top half of your body with the bottom half of your body and bring the elbows to bend with the fingertips touching. So you're in like a figure eight shape or an infinity sign. Choose the one that feels more interesting or necessary. And again, release all of your bandhas, release any forced kind of breathing. Just be here. Soften even more, smooth out your forehead, release the tongue off the roof of your mouth, maybe swallow. Relax your jaw and the sides of your neck. Let your teeth and your lips part very slightly. Let your gaze settle on something ahead of you that's not moving, so you can relax the eyelids down, maybe halfway or all the way. Release the belly even more. Release the feet and the hands. Maybe you choose to stay here, or you could bring yourself to a more traditional rest pose by elongating the legs out ahead of you, elongating the arms down by your sides with the palms facing up towards the sky or the ceiling. They can be as far away from your body as you wish. Everything resting heavy on the ground. Do nothing. Stop doing yoga. And notice. In respect of your time today, we won't do a body scan like we normally do, but if you want, you could quickly in your mind scan your body from the tips of your toes through the tips of your fingers and the top of your head. Good. Stay for a few more moments of silence, just noticing. And notice where your mind went. There's nothing good or bad about that. Just notice where or when. And then bring your attention back to your body's weight on the floor or your chair. Notice your breath. Very gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to let your body wake back up. Let that be very small and gentle at first. But you might get the instinct to turn it into something bigger, like rolling your wrists and your ankles, or bending the knees, lengthening through the legs and arms, stretching in any kind of way. Anything that feels natural or necessary is a good idea. Be mindful and careful and slow. We will meet in a seated position to end class, but before you get up, notice which way you instinctually or by default would get up. Just be aware of what that pattern would look like. And then last little yoga challenge is see if you can get up the opposite direction or like a totally different way, if you wish. If not, notice your hesitation or denial of that request and then come up however you want. But use as little effort as possible, maybe rolling to one side. Take your time and just look for length. Don't worry about what it looks like, but find something that allows you to feel like your tail and your pelvis are pushing down, reaching down, and your crown is reaching up. Maybe roll your shoulders down away from your ears again. At the end of class, I'll invite you to bring your hands together in a prayer-like position with the thumbs pressing into the center of your chest. That's called Anjali Mudra. But you don't have to. You could bring a fist into a palm. You could stack your palms. Anything that feels good to you is fine. Okay, just bring awareness to this part of your body so that you can tuck your chin down and back and bow to yourself. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So regardless of what you think your performance looked like today or how successful you think you were, give yourself a thank you just for showing up. We all know that that's 90% of the work. Everything else is just practice. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. When you're ready, your hands can come down. Let your eyes flutter open and up. And class is over. Thanks, everyone. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always talk to me after class, or I'm happy to give you my email. We can talk privately about it any other time. Okay, I'll stop the recording now so no one will hear any of that. Of course.